Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Hi. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Hi, Erich from Meidling. Thanks for joining. Or in Austria. Hi, Jens from rainy Germany. Today it's very cloudy in Austria too, so I wasn't actually outside today, so I can't tell you if it was rainy or not. Yeah. So, by the way, it's this classic background today. It's interesting. Anyways, okay, cool. Let me switch this over. Pop out chat. Let's go over here. There we go. Hi, Delfred from Colorado. Thanks for joining. Hi, Sabine from Mallorca. Mallorca, Portugal. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Are you on holiday right now there in Portugal? Pretty awesome. Very, very nice. Oh, by the way, my I have another Hawaii shirt today. Very nice coral reef pattern. Hi, Johan from Netherlands. How are you doing? And my huge cup is back. Look at that. There we go. Woo! It's so bright. it's everything is getting dark when the big cup is coming into the into the picture. Oh, perfect. By the way, I recently switched over from milk to soy milk with vanilla taste. It has, strangely enough, less calories than milk. It tastes pretty good because I now have vanilla cafe all the time. It's not like for some specific reason. I just wanted to try it out. Hi, Christian from Frankfurt. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? So today we will talk a little bit more about the Benny Productions contest. We will work a little bit on the concept. And also I want to show you a nice AI that is called Artbreeder. And I want to show you another webpage that's called ArtStation. It's more like for concept art and 3D art, but it's very inspirational. It's a great source for ideas, for concepts, for compositions, for resources. Maybe not for resources, but like for ideas on how things should look, right? Colors, also good source for colors. Sabina says, not holiday. I changed my country. Really? You actually moved like to Portugal for forever or for like a short time, for some years? I'm really thinking about moving too right now. I enjoyed Asia so much, so well, I'm not right away moving to Asia. First of all, the heat is like really extreme. So, but maybe to be somewhere else for some time, you know, because it was a test. If can I do my stream on the road or not, and it worked very well. Yes, I can do that. I could actually have stayed kept on traveling to other countries. But I want to prepare more for that because I felt like it was very interesting and it was a really, how can I say, extreme situation, and still it worked out. But at the same time, I really want to prepare more to make it work better because there is a lot of things you don't think about before. And then in the situation, this was like why I tested this. You need to like just get better with that, with these kind of things. Yes, forever. Really? Wow, that is amazing. Okay, pretty cool. Very nice. That's a big step. And I guess you speak, what do they speak there? Not Spanish, but Portuguese. Yes, it's different from Spanish as far as I know. But I think it's fairly similar, but at the same time different, right? Is it like German and Swiss? Like the Swiss version of German, which is similar but not exactly the same? Interesting. Very nice. Okay. Good. Yeah, so it's always good to change a little bit. It's never too late also to change. People always think, oh no, I should have done that. But they don't do it. It's never just do it. Just try it, you know. If you have the possibility, you can always give it a try in a small version and then get bigger if you want to, just to get a little bit of the like experience the risk. But at the same time, you will realize that real life is really slow. So many things that could happen or can happen, they happen rather slow, so you can prepare for them. So getting there, trying it out and getting back is often a good way to just see, do you like it? Is it actually as good as you thought? What would be the risk? What would be the complications? Stuff like that, you know? So just give it a shot if you want to do something in life. Yeah, and looking back, there is never the feeling you lost something at that moment, right? Because that always happens with the two things we are most afraid of in life are time and money, and both of them are not that like. You never have the feeling you wasted time or money if you did something that you wanted to do and then it didn't work out. You still have the feeling like, yeah, but it still was a great experience, right? Or I invested my money into something, it was worth it. And you won't miss that time or that money, right? But you will always miss not having done it. Because you will always think how it could have been if you would have done it, right? So just do it. Just try something you want to do. In the EU is no problem. That's true too. This is why I love the EU, because it gives us all that freedom and possibility to move wherever we want. And I think more people should take advantage of that, at least for some years. Do it for 1 year, do it for 2 years. You really don't miss time, you know? And you don't miss out on anything. We always think like we are so important and like, we can't leave for a year, but really not really much changes if you leave for a year, especially if you do something at the location too, right? If you have a gap in your like, how do you say, your life profile and you want to apply for a job, they're going to ask what you did at that time. But if you use the time for something useful, then that's still okay, if even as a benefit, because you showed that you can take responsibility and do extreme things, right? No, everything works in English. Really? Oh, that's surprising, because even in Germany and Austria, a lot of people don't speak that well English. Like they speak it well enough to understand it, but not like fluently. So that's interesting. Jens says, oh, Sabine, I'm jealous. I enjoyed every moment I spent in Portugal. I've never been to Portugal, by the way. I should absolutely go there and visit that country. All right, let's get started here. That shirt is nice. Thank you very much. Destructor 5000. That's an interesting name. Thank you. I brought 7 of these shirts from Thailand. Next time I go there, I need to buy some more because they're very affordable there. And yeah, you get a great choice. But you have to find the right place, especially if you're a big guy like me, because Asians are usually smaller. So there is an Asian XL. They actually print that in the shirt. Asian XL, European XL. And the Asian XL is a European large, but I need a European XL. And they mostly don't have that because most of them are not that big, right? So you have to find shops for bigger people, basically. In their sense of bigger people, so you find something that is normal for you, right? Okay, anyways. By the way, it's also something really interesting. I have to look for that picture. 1 second. I have to show you that. I posted that on Facebook, and then we'll switch over my screen. Because the subway is also smaller than it is here. And so, where did I post that? 1 second. Oh, there we go. Look at this. I have to switch over 1 second. Work life. There we go. So this is when I'm in Thailand in the subway. This kind of hand-holding thing is right in my face. So I had to duck down every time I went into the subway, because this is like the ceiling is just lower because they are not that big on average. And so this thing was always in my face. And this is, by the way, also right in the middle of the walking path, right? So you just ran into it if you just want to walk to your seat. And of course, in Austria, it's higher. It's above your head because also the cards are higher and everything is a little bit bigger. So yeah, it's really interesting. Okay. Let's switch over to, this is Artbreeder, by the way. So I want to start out with this here, and then we do some editing. You can see here, I started a little bit more on I did some more research on what I want to do with the composition, and today I want to go a little bit deeper into that. I didn't spend as much time with it as I wished I had, but next week I will do a lot more. Yeah, so that's it. Okay. Hi. What is that username? Teodorescu. Is that a Greek name or a Russian name? Maybe, I don't know. Okay. So what Artbreeder does, I just want to show this because this is really amazing. So what all these images here, they are not created by artists, they are not created by humans, they are created by the AI, by a computer, and you can create your own versions with that. So what you can do here is you can, of course, upload an image. For example, a portrait. You can't upload everything, but a portrait works, for example, for upload. And you could say, for example, okay, let's, if you upload something, the AI needs to calculate through it. So I'm not going to do that now because that takes like half an hour or something until your image is ready. But what you can do is you can select one of these images here. And then you can see here, so like very scary variations also. You can use these sliders if you want to. For example, you can go here and make it a little bit more happy. You can see it smiling a little bit or less happy like this. And sometimes it also changes the complete face. So this is something where it's a little bit strange how this works, but where you get really cool results is when you crossbreed over here, where you can select an image. For example, you can search for something here for a certain term, or you can go random and then find a picture you like. Let's see, maybe also in a different style or something. This, for example, down here, you can see this is different. And so now this is creating a new version. You can see now it's a little bit different. We can say, okay, we want to have more of this style. And then you see, now we have this face kind of with this style. And also you can see there is these, how do you say, sunspots? What are they called? I can't remember right now. But this is how you can do that. You can go even stronger with that, with the style. And you can experiment with that. You don't get an exact result, so you don't get just this face and just this style. Let's move this over here. Let's see what we get then. It's getting closer. But then it doesn't, like, of course, the haircut now is different. So you can really do really, really interesting things with that. I mean, if you're a visual artist for for character design or something like that, this is pretty awesome. This is very nice. You can do in seconds really interesting things without being an artist. And of course, I think if you spend a lot of time with this, you can come up with really unique results that are very like specific to what you want to do. You can also save them and then go with other versions. Like you can go here, reset, select another image from random and do another style if you want, you know. Oh, there we have a photo. Look at this. So here we have a photo of a guy, and now you see this is now becoming more kind of a drawing. So I can say, okay, I want to have this face, and then I want to have this style. I would always suggest to wait until this has calculated and then move the next slider. So like I said, it doesn't like exactly copy, like take the face and transfer the style. So that doesn't work 100%. But you should be able to get something that looks more like a drawing. I mean, it looks kind of like a drawing, right? Well, look at this. It has a little bit of a painterly style. It's like, could be better though. All right. What does the chat say? Sorry. There's so much chat going on right now. That's good. Romania. Oh, that's good. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. But Ceausescu, that was long ago. It was still in my lifetime though. Oh, by the way, I did a shooting on when was that? I think on Friday, and she was 22, and we were talking about theater because she's an actress, and I was about, hey, do you remember that German theater guy? He was Schlingensief. He's was very famous and stuff. Do you remember his thing in the theater in Vienna? And she was like, no. I don't remember, and I looked it up, and she was like 4 years old. So this is how fast time flies. How long ago that was, because at that time I was a student, and I don't feel like it's that distant, but it is. It is really distant. Wow. Freckles. Yes, that's true. Freckles. That's it. So you can do a lot of cool stuff here. There's another style here. Let's look at that. And this is also like, I think you can use this also as a photographer for inspiration to just think about different kind of styles of for example, here, what you can do with light and with makeup, with hair color and stuff like that. So you can just play around and go into directions and synthesize them out of these pictures to give you more ideas, right, of what could be done. Can we randomize this more? I'm not sure. There's another one. Crazy art style. Oh, wow, look at that. Beautiful. She also now, the head is turned a little bit and she looks a little bit to the side. That's really interesting because here she looks like straight basically at the camera and here she looks sideways. It's really nice. A little bit pink in the hair. Look at the makeup here, like very faint pink. Wow. Very red lips. Wow. Let's save this. You can do so many cool things with the help of AI. And I think this is also the big difference where people say, oh, AI is taking over everything. But I think rather we will use this as inspiration tools to create something that we like. But we can have this as a process that supports the process of artistically creating something with the support of artificial intelligence at the same time. Because the big difference between something that a computer generates and something that we generate is that we have our own history and culture behind it, right? Because this is where we come from, but the computer does not. So for the computer, it doesn't mean anything, but meaning is the main thing of what art is. The picture is just like the membrane through which you process or you display an artistic work, but what is behind that is what is more important, right? This is also why, I mean, you can do all these amazing like artworks and sculptures and things in virtual reality in 3D, but they are not worth as much as a genuine artistic artwork that has been created at that time, for example, by, I don't know, some classic like Rodin or something, like a classic sculpture or something like that, you know, because they are copies at that point, you know, of that style, right? Auto, hey, some new users here. Hi, hello to Darmstadt. Awesome. So yeah, I think that's an important part of that, right? Did I save that, by the way? Let's save that. Oh, it's okay. Now I have saved it twice. Can I delete this? I think I can. Well, I can do this later. Never mind. Yeah, and you can also, like, you can pick this up now. For example, I can go into this picture that I created before. So you see, created by me, and then I can go here and then crossbreed this with another image, right? So you can go on and on and on through a long process. Oh, this also looks good. Very nice. So many different styles here. Oh, God, this is more scary. Let's click on this. Let's see what comes from that. There's also landscapes. I will have a look at landscapes too in a second. This didn't do too much. Let's see. Let's go more. Oh, I should wait. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, it's like a drawing right now. Interesting. Let's go here in the middle. Style mix. Ah, okay. Oh, it's keeping a lot of the style even if the adjustment is over here. So now it has a little bit of color in there. Interesting. Very nice. Let's go back here and look at these. You see here, like, there's also landscapes. Amazing, right? Alien world, crazy landscape. You can also crossbreed that with other images. And this should now, you see now this suggests only landscape. So it's kind of smart in the way this is set up. And you can also now combine these. Let's combine these two, for example. Yeah, you see? Completely different result. Look, this is the original here. And this is what we have now. So this is really impressive. Very nice, very nice. Let's go a little bit more with this content. Wow. Okay. That bubble here is a little bit crazy, but still, it's very amazing. Oh, now we have like floating stones. So you can do so much interesting things. And you can also download these, and they of course have a paid version where you can download higher resolutions if you want to. So this could be a great way also to create backgrounds for your images, for your compositions if you want to, where you can like arrive at a result out of these starting inspirations without having the skill to really make something like that, because this is really complex to actually do this. Of course, it's great to learn this yourself, but just to do one of these versions would take a lot of time, and you can do like hundreds here, like in half an hour, right? Let's go back here, try another style. What should we try? Let's go with this one, for example. Not bad. Make it a little bit more blue. Ooh. Well, this is very similar to that. It's just like the stone structure is different, right? But still, it's pretty interesting. And what I also like is when you look at these, a lot of these pictures that are here as an input, they have very good colors. Like very cinematic, very artistic, concept art colors like you would expect from a really good artist. Probably because a lot of good works have been uploaded there, but still, it is really hard to learn how to use colors like that. That's on top of that, right? Even if you know how to photo bash things like that, to know how to make colors look that good and combine them that well, that is, wow, look at that. Wow, that is impressive. Whew. Wow, okay. Let's save this. That is impressive. Huh. Okay. Crazy. Let's try another one. So you should really try this. So like I said, the page is called Artbreeder. Let's try this one. A little bit of classic painting style here, less modern. Looks also kind of classic when you look at it. Maybe give me some more modern colors here. Meh. By the way, when you look at this, like this is more like a modern style with these kind of colors. When you compare this to classic art, often a reason also why you see this huge difference is because of the things you can do with digital painting and with the digital medium that you cannot do with oil colors or with the physical paint or with the physical medium of photography, for example. So Photoshop, for example, or Affinity Photo, or these kind of digital painting programs, or Blender, stuff like that, they can do things you cannot do with the classic medium, and this is why it changed so much also from the aesthetic. Because they just enable you to, for example, all the blend modes, stuff like that. Of course, oil color, oil paint, watercolor, stuff like that doesn't have that, right? You can't blend stuff like that. And so you can do things in a very different way, right? Let's go for this here. Wow. That is also very impressive. Huh. Wow. Amazing. I love the colors. Very, very nice. Also the composition. It's very kind of a little bit strange here because there's like, you're not really sure what is going on, but at the same time it's pretty cool still. You could form this into something more like that makes a bit more sense, right? Wow, wow. And this is, by the way, this is also a very important part of how we work as a culture, is we have these huge jumps in culture and in art because of technology. Not besides of technology, but because of that. Because our imagination only goes so far, and we can't really think beyond the medium that we have right now to use. So that is a really important part, that we are, in a certain sense, really limited to only be able to imagine things as far as they can be technically done at this very moment, but not very much into the future of what could be done with other tools. And as soon as they arrive, Everybody's like, oh yes, of course you can do this and that. And people start to experiment. Of course, at the start, and these new experiments, they are all often very like simple and basic, and people just try like very easy things, and then it gets more and more complicated, of course, as further the technology evolves. And you also have this kind of step in technology. This is also interesting, where what was I about to say? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Where technology becomes culture. This is a very crucial step, because at the beginning, when new technology comes, we use it as technology to carry our old culture. So we use it in the same way as we used to use things before, and then they transform over time to become a new form of culture, an actual culture. So at one point, how can I explain this? For example, think about the actual letter, the paper letter that we used to send, right? And then we had the fax machine, which also sends a paper letter, right? And then we had the email, which also sends a letter, but it's now an email letter. So it's completely electronic. You don't need paper anymore, but still it's a letter in the form of how you would send a letter. It's very like old school basic. I send you something, you look at it, you send it back to me. It's not really a conversation. It's just like a pit pat, you know? I send you something, you send me something, in a very classic way, like a paper letter works, right? But then you have social media, which works different. So now technology becomes culture, where the conversation is no longer just one piece that you send and then you sign it with your name, stuff like that, sincerely, blah, blah, blah. But you send more than just language. You send smileys, you send memes, you send videos, you send GIFs, stuff like that. So the conversation changes and the language changes, because a lot of expression we have today, you can't even form in text. We speak to each other through images and through little animations and sometimes through sounds. And they don't transfer into spoken language, but they are part of our language now, because they're very important, because now we speak to each other in a different way. And this also happens, of course, with art and with these different mediums. So you can also compare this, the difference between a classic photograph and a modern social media post is very different, much more fluent, very different process than before. So when technology becomes culture, that is the crucial step where we actually use the new technology for the first time in what its actual potential is, right? So that's interesting. And then, of course, grow into new technologies too, right? All right. Anyways, sorry. Let's look at the chat here, and then we go back to our composition. Hi. Also, I already said that. Overlooked your stream? What does that mean? Overlooked? Artbreeder? About copyright. I don't think there is a problem with copyright, because these are genuinely newly generated works, so they are completely different from the basis, unless you make them look very similar, of course. Like if you upload a photo of a star and then you can still see the likeness of that star, right? Movie star or something, that's probably a problem. But for example, a combination of colors is not something you can protect. Maybe in a logo, of course, but not in an artwork, right? If you paint something in these kind of color combinations, these kind of gradients, someone else can paint with the same colors. Doesn't really take away or is not protected. Some people are famous for certain colors they are using, or for gradients they are using, color combinations, and people might say, oh, you're doing art in that kind of style. But other than that, it's not really protected, I would say, right? And this should be like, you can see how different this picture from this picture. So I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think like this would be close enough to be protected, right? I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. Hi, again, I can't read that name, sorry. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Pretty cool. Kein Hinweis, dass du streamst. Yeah, sorry, I didn't post this week that I'm going to stream. By the way, please write in English, not in German. It's an English stream. So everybody can understand what's going on. Yeah, I have to announce that earlier. I have to announce that again, I don't know, on Wednesday or something. But I stream every Sunday at 8 o'clock. So I have done this for, I don't know how many times, but I've done a lot of streams. We can actually look that up. Or can we look that up? I'm not sure we can look that up. I surely have done like 50 streams or more in that kind of frame, right? So these are my streams. I did 40 streams last year at least. And then these are the streams from this year. I did at least, how much is that here? 23 streams. I mean, I do a stream every week. I don't think I left one out. Maybe I left, no, I did leave some out because I couldn't stream in Thailand. But I have streamed for over a year, every Sunday on 8 o'clock. So I don't know, at some point, it even says it on my channel. You know, if you go to my channel, you look up here. Up here it says live stream every Sunday, 8 p.m. CEST. So I don't know. People should at some point realize, yes, that is when this happens. But I should still like announce that. You are right. I should still announce that. Okay. Let's go over to, oh yeah, I also wanted to show you ArtStation, which is a nice inspiration page. I did announce it, but just like 20 minutes before the stream. So I this week I was really late with that. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, so let's go into the Benny Productions contest. Work a little bit on that. It's hard to see. When I try to remember something, I always go back to some of your videos. Yeah, I do too, by the way. So there's a lot of techniques that I show you that afterwards I look at how did I do that, because I research it for the video. And of course, when I research it, I am more involved than I usually are with that kind of process. And then afterwards, it's good to look back at that and say, hey, how did I do that process? What kind of details, what kind of small steps did I do? Because often it is more the small steps that do something for you rather than the big steps. Okay, anyway, so this is ArtStation here, and this is a really awesome platform for concept artists. And what Benny Production does is basically concept art. He's a very well-trained concept artist, and what he does as a technique is called photo bashing, if you want to look that up. So let's go here, photo bashing. This is how you write that, photo bashing. And it's basically it's a fast prototyping technique, basically, if you want to make concept art for movies, for video games, stuff like that. So you just look for pictures and then bash them together and create something of a concept art without drawing every detail. So it's just faster than when you would sit down and create everything in 3D or paint everything in digital painting. So that is, yeah, this is just a faster way to prototype ideas and concepts for how things can look. And then often people also use 3D art to block in, for example, basic concepts on how a city would look for the perspective, and then they photo bash over that, or they would do some digital painting on top of that to draw in things like, for example, the position of this figure here and how this robot stands in the arms and stuff like that is probably easier to just draw in rather than finding someone that is standing like that. So you need different kind of skills, but this is faster and easier to do than digital painting, of course. But you still need a very, very high skill level. And of course, Benny Production is he's extremely skilled at what he's doing. Like, he's really one of the top of the line people in that kind of area, right? So he could easily work for some of the big studios if he want to, with the skill level he has, right? Okay, so anyways, let's go back to this page. So why this is good is, first of all, up here you can search for kind of different topics like medieval. Let's enter this here. You can search for any kind of thing. And then let's see if this works. Because it was a little bit slow before. Wait a second, let's go to the start page again. Medieval. There we go. And so you can have, so what you can look for here is, for example, different ambiences, right? So for example, you look at this, And you have a certain composition, of course, yes, but you also have a setup. Like you can see, it's this kind of bluish color here. It looks very depressing. You have this fog. It looks intimidating, a little bit claustrophobic, how the forest is coming onto the people marching through the forest. So you can learn a lot from that. There's another scene here from the side. Nice silhouette effect here. You can also see with the readability how the composition is done. So you can see the people, the shields, the flags they have. So you know what is going on, what kind of period that is, and that they are entering a fortress here because of these spikes that are sticking out and a little bit of the stone wall you can see here. So you can really look at these works and get into the mindset of the artist to understand how are they constructing things, how do they make things visible for the viewer to understand what is going on. So for example, here in this picture, in the center of the picture, we have this very prominent figure here, and you can see that from all of the other people here, he's the only one wearing all white, and he has a red cross on the chest. So this is like, he's basically visually singled out, and we have the red cross, so we know this is from the, what is the English word for that? I can't remember. Let me see. Kreuzzüge. There we go. The crusade. Yes, the crusade, of course. The crusade. As a cross, it's a crusade. Makes sense. Okay. So you can see like the time setting and specifically what kind of purpose this is, what kind of situation of time setting it is. It's not kind of Lord of the Rings or some other thing. This is the crusade, right? Because of that cross here. So this gives you good information. There we have some other setups here. Very nice also. Really cool. So you can learn a lot of these things and just go through them and see. Of course, there's different styles also, right? So there's also this kind of style. Here's a little bit more like video gamey or maybe like anime kind of style, more colorful. And this is also something you can do with your photography or with your photo bashing, right? So it's good to get some inspiration here and see how the composition is done and how people work with the different elements. And when you have this kind of medieval theme, you can look through these pictures and also get a kind of idea on how, I don't know, the setup is, the buildings are, the clothing are, stuff like that, the materials are that you want to use. You can see, for example, this is 3D art here. And then maybe also painted over that. I'm not sure. You can, I think they also write here. You can see on the right side, they write a little bit what kind of techniques they use, what kind of software they use. So that's very complex. But as inspiration for your photo bashing, that could be a good start, right? To get some ideas here. And it's really, really hard to come up with good ideas, especially if you don't have the experience in doing things. Getting the idea and then getting the idea in a way that makes sense, in a composition that actually is good and tells the story and is dynamic, is really hard to do, right? So it's really good to take inspiration from these kind of pictures. Not all of them are great, by the way, of course, but a lot of them are, right? So you can still learn a lot of these things from these things, right? So that's very, very nice here. And also you can, of course, like just copy stuff over. For example, like this here, like just right click, copy. Don't use the image in your final work. This is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you can copy this over and then just experiment with the composition. Let's put this up here, for example, real quick, like so. And then here we have Benny. Put it up here, and we could, for example, have him here, or we can have him here in the middle or something like that. And maybe do something with that, right? So this is a good start to think about, okay, this could be something. How could I progress from here? What kind of extra things do I want? And like I said in the last, did I say it in last stream? I said it in one of the streams. Go from the story you have in your mind to the elements you need to tell that story. And don't overdo it with the elements also, because this is kind of a classic beginner thing, is to put in too many things, right? So, for example, you would think, oh, yes, of course, I need an army. Like, where was the picture? I can't find the picture anymore. I want to create an army like this. And then you sit there for like a year because you have to create all these characters. Don't do that. That's much too complicated. Just like do something very simple the simpler the better, right? The less characters, the less things that are in there, the more you can focus on understanding how to do these little, like, small things, few things. That's the word was I looking for. How to do these few things rather than obsess over tons of detail that you can't realize because you lack the skill at that moment. And even small things, even just like doing little things that seem easy for achieved artists, and they do it like in 5 minutes, it might take a week for you to do it in a way that actually looks good in any kind of way, right? So for example, like if you look at this here, and you think, oh yes, I'm taking a door and then I just making it a night and I put some flame here and then I paint in a little bit of the night so it looks like the light is shining on the door. That is so hard to do, to paint that light in. Like when Benny does it in his videos, it's like he does it like it's the easiest thing in the world. But to do this takes a lot of training. This is super hard to paint this in a realistic way. So he's like, with the quality on how he can create light and atmosphere through light and color, he's amazing, right? It's super, super hard to do these kind of things. So, but if you focus on that and you try it, still you learn through the process. So that's the important part about that, right? Hi, Nadine from Switzerland. Thanks for joining. Hi. I was saying your name is hard to see. Sorry, not being very exact. I'm not sure what I mean. Oh, Ochi Money. Oh, yes, okay. I think you told me in the past. I forgot about that. When it was, when I try to remember something, I always go, oh, okay, I already read that. We love every one of them. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Thank you. I hope I can provide something useful with my streams. And it's also like, please remember, the streams are meant to be like more of a fun time that we spend together. You can ask me questions. I try out some things. I try to challenge myself. Sometimes I need to challenge myself more. And yeah, just look at different things and explain how to approach these kind of things, right? Okay, so let's go back to this here. This kind of composition. I kind of understand that he is too big right now, so probably we need some kind of stone here in the front where he's kneeling on. So we can search for that. Let's look for some stuff here. Maybe let's go to Unsplash here real quick. Let's go for rock maybe. There we go. There we have a nice rock right away. Pretty cool. Let's put this in here like so. We can maybe rotate this a little bit. Like I said, right now, this doesn't have to be good in any kind of sense, because this is just like putting things together. Rasterize this a little bit more here. Okay, let's just delete this. Okay, good. So now we have a reason why he is so big, because there's a stone in the front of us where he's kneeling on. Of course, now we have a little bit of the problem that he is, like, the stone is hard to see, so we have to fix that. There should be some kind of light behind that. Let's put this on here again. There we go. Okay, so another thing that I thought is like, I mean, the atmosphere is not too bad. We could go with this and maybe put some more fog back here and make it rather dark. So we could have maybe a color scheme that comes close to this here. That would be interesting, like this kind of blue thing. We can actually copy this over real quick. First of all, to save it as a layer, let's make this a little bit smaller. Just as a reminder from the style, I will turn this off. We don't need that right now. Just to have like, this is, by the way, this is called a mood board, basically, where you collect different kind of moods, different kind of colors, different kind of elements, and then just have an overview of how things could look, what kind of things you need. So it's easier to look for them, to search for them. Let's duplicate this real quick. Put one down here. The second one I'm going to make bigger, like so, and then rasterize, and then filter blur average, like so. Let's put this on top, and then we want to multiply this, like so. Sorry, not multiply, soft light. Can actually also go like, let's see, maybe hard light. And so now, I mean, it's a little bit dark right now, but it has this kind of color scheme. So this kind of thing could be interesting, kind of a darker thing. But I was thinking, because Benny is often doing these more colorful things, I was thinking more about going maybe this kind of direction here from this picture. And so I was thinking what could be interesting is if this would be more like a night scene, and then we have some nice flames here. So he's like swinging like there's like huge flames coming from his sickle here. Maybe he's also his fire from the eyes, stuff like that. Let's get some flame here. Oh, this is me again. Okay. Let's get some fire here. And we also need smoke and stuff like that. Let's have a look at this, and maybe also this. Okay. Let's see. Copy. Put this in here. I want to set this to... Let's do it like this. Just very simple. Rasterize this. And then maybe put it up here. So it's just like... Oh, okay. You know what? Before we do that, maybe let's make a new layer. Paint this a little bit darker here. 1 second. So just to get some ideas in here, right? Color wheel. So let's just paint this on here. Maybe keep him a little bit brighter here in the front. Like so. Okay, nice. Let's keep it like this for now. And now we can see the flames better. That's nice. Let's see if we can just bend this. Whoa, what is... Oh, okay. I was like confused for a second. Okay. Eraser, this is too big. And this is, like I said, it's just a sketch. Don't think this is gonna be like a final result. It's just a sketch to block in some ideas really quickly and see what we could do with that. So there's an idea to have it like this, maybe. So that's maybe a good start. Where was the other flame? This flame is a little bit ugly. You know what? I will take this flame here again real quick. And then we will just take this part here. So let's go here to rasterize. And then give me this part here, please. Copy over. Yes, please. Okay. Let's hide the other part here. And then just like, woo, what was that? Okay. Let's go like this. What do we use here? Add. Okay, we use add. Okay, let's go like this. Bloop. Blend mode. Let's remove a little bit of that. There we go. Okay, so we have some burning eyes here. Let's do this just twice. Maybe bend this down a little bit to the eyes. Also with the other one. Bloop. Let's go here and here. All right, there we go. Well, it looks a little bit crap, but like I said, it's just like, we're just giving it a try. Okay, wait a second. I want to make this a little bit better, maybe. There we go. Okay. They are very similar. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter right now. Okay, cool. So we have this guy, and then let me see. We had this stuff here. So we can play around with this. I actually just want to have the flame here. 1 second. Let's rasterize this again. And then delete these parts here. Nope, that's too big. There we go. Set this also to add. And then we could maybe have some flames down here where it's just like the landscape is burning a little bit. Okay, that's maybe too similar. Where was the thing we had before? There we go. Oh yeah, I was thinking about maybe also have like a fortress in the background, or castle. Let's go castle. How do you write that? Oh, there we go. Okay. No, wait a second. Medieval castle? Fortress? Is this how you write fortress? Something like this, but more like... This. Ooh. That's a nice one. Do we get some more here, maybe? What does the chat say? Can we create memes using Affinity Photo like people do using Photoshop? In what sense do you mean? You mean like animated GIFs or something? Because that doesn't work. Because Affinity Photo can't do animations. But you can of course like do photo memes if you want to. But there's also meme generators online, so that might be easier to do that if you want to do that. So it really depends on what you want to do. Let's go to pixels. Fortress, there we go. Isn't there something that looks like the classic, like, fortress kind of thing on the hill? Guess we have to do something ourselves. Let's take this one. Don't want to spend too much time here. And then when we have some of these elements in there, we can play around with the composition more, right? So just block in some elements and then you can move them around and see what would make more sense, where are things missing, stuff like that, right? Should rasterize this before. There we go. So now, did that work? Yes, I think it did, right? Yes, okay, good. Okay, let's also take that tower. If I find it again. Did I not save that tower? 1 second. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. It's very dark, but anyways. Has the same structure. That's good. Rasterize this. And then just cut that out here. And don't spend too much time on the details because it's more about getting a nice composition, a nice dynamic first. And then if you have that, then you can go into the details, right? So it doesn't really matter at the start. Where's my fortress? There we go. Okay, good. 1 second. Okay. Oh, let's put this on top, put this below that. And then we can just like create a little bit of stuff here. Like so. Maybe make this. I mean, let's see how big this should be anyways. Let's group this real quick. And then I thought maybe back here at the mountain. Although the question is, how big would that be? Maybe here on the side of the mountain, but then we can't really see it. Let's switch this over real quick, like so. That makes more sense. Okay. Let's rasterize this, or I will duplicate this real quick, rasterize it. And then we can bring this down a little bit so it fits more the mountain. All right, so we have a little bit of a castle back there. Let's pull this down here. And by the way, I should also save maybe at some point. Let's do that right now. Also pull this behind our like screen here of the no, not screen, but the darkness of the sky, right? Okay, so we can't see the castle very well. So what we could do is to put a moon there. Moon. Let's find some moon here. Let's use this one. So this is kind of a classic way to make things brighter, is just to put a moon behind it, right? There we go. Of course, now we have the... Wait a second. The other thing could be like... Let's try this real quick, 1 second. Let's put the moon there, and then this doesn't work anymore. Okay, 1 second. Let's make this normal. And then use this blend mode here, or like blend ranges, better said. Okay, good. So we have now a little bit of a moon back here. We want to, let's put a mask on that so we kind of cut the lower part. And so let's do this real quick before I start talking. 1 second. Okay, good. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff here right now, and the moon is taking too much attention, first of all. So that's probably not a good idea to have the moon here. We could have the moon behind our main guy. Maybe that makes more sense. Because right now he just has, like, there's this is bright, this is bright, this is bright. So this doesn't really make sense. We could have some clouds in the background with the moon and clouds. Let's see. Try Irish Castle. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, that's true. That would have been better. Irish Castle. Let me see if we find some nice, a little bit sinister looking skies maybe. Ooh, that's not too bad here. Let's It's a little bit too dark maybe, but let's open this up. Wait a second. I will close the other layers real quick. Close to the right so we don't have too much things open. And then let's see how we can progress with the composition. So this maybe, let's go like this. What else was there that was nice? This one is very dark. I don't like that. Maybe this one here. Let's try this real quick because this looks interesting. Put this here in the background. So we have a little bit of like lighter clouds behind the castle. So at that point, maybe create a mask for our landscape real quick. And then it's easier to put a sky behind the landscape, right? So let's make a mask here. And then maybe I will also put this inside of here. Maybe 1 second. Let's make it like this. What did I do just now? Why is this so different now? Am I crazy? What the hell's going on right now? Why is there a white area here now? Let's go back. What the? Okay, something changed. Pull this down here. 1 second, sorry. Group this, put the mask on here. So this should work now. Here's our sky. Let's put this behind our landscape now. Sorry, that was super confusing. There we go. That is a little bit better. There's still some mistakes here. I don't know why. There's this line now here and some kind of white stuff down here for some reason. Oh, that's from the stone. I see. Okay, okay. That's just a messy selection from before. Let's just move this over a little bit more. Okay, interesting. Good. So now we have 2 moons. We can delete this moon here. Let's remove that. So now we can see the castle a little bit better. We have this kind of moon. I'm not sure if that is in the right position now. Do we even need a moon at that point? If we have this white, like these clouds behind there, we could go like this. By the way, I know this looks horrible, so don't, it's just more about the composition, right? Don't worry. So what else could we do here? Let's maybe bring this back. No. I don't like the flames here. They are too bright. Should we maybe have the castle burn and not the ground, not the floor in front? We could put some stuff there, maybe have a little bit of fire there, or maybe no fire at all. And some like more clouds in front of the guy, of course, stuff like to put some more atmosphere. Oh, those are the eyes, okay. This is the big... Let's turn some of these off. And then let's see if we have this up here. Where was the other one we had down here? That's one. Okay, good. Okay, so now we have a burning castle over here. We have that guy. Okay, no smoke. Let's bring this in here real quick. This is our flame from here. Rasterize. Remove some of that stuff here. What? Oh, sorry. I was like wondering why is everything behind blue? There we go. Let's bring this up here. There we go. So now we have some nice smoke behind our flames. Makes it a little more active here. That starts to look nice. Let's go up here. By the way, let's find a nice color scheme here. Where's our art station? Where was the thing I showed you before? 1 second. Somehow this, sometimes I don't understand the search here sometimes. Hi Damien from the Czech Republic. Thanks for joining. The theme is medieval. It's a contest from Benny Productions, which is the guy who is here in this guy here. So he made that challenge. It's till the 24th of June. And you can also do the same challenge on my channel. It's not a cooperation, by the way. I just kind of piggybacking this month on that challenge because I think it's a good idea. And you can get some more inspiration from his channel also. Let's take this here, copy, put this in here, and then let's play with these colors here. Let's delete this here. Okay. New layer. Then let's pick some of the color here, like so. And then let's start to paint some of that stuff. Get a bit more atmosphere in here. Reduce the opacity, reduce the hardness, like so. Okay. I want to make the sides rather dark here. Let's start to paint everything like this first. Then the sides a little bit. Whoa, no, I didn't want to do that. Just have a bit more center focus here. Not sure about that. Okay. Let's lock these two. I also want to do something with his staff. So, maybe try some blue light here. Wait a second, let's sample this here. Nope, the orange. Go in here. Is there, like, can we invert this? No, let's just go like this. Maybe put this behind the stuff, but then, yeah, let's just do this. Nope, that's too much. That's still too much, okay. Or maybe, 1 second. Make this a lot bigger and more faded. And then reduce. So a little bit, maybe make it darker from the color. There we go. Bloop. Let's bring this a little bit forward. Okay, so we have a kind of a contrast between like orange and the blue. Doesn't look great, but doesn't matter right now. Where's the other one? Is this the one with the eyes? Yes, okay. Let's unlock this. Are they not getting brighter? There we go. Let's just need some more colors in here. Okay, let's lock this again. Uh, hmm. Should there be some burning here at the horizon? Like you see this kind of light here, which is kind of the same as the burning light here. Would that be interesting? Let's see. Can we find something like that? Ooh. Okay. Let's make this with a mask maybe at first. Wrong side, okay. Select, invert. Mask. There we go. This needs to be behind that guy. Where is he? Oh god, I have so many layers. I don't know what's going on here. Where is that? That's him. Should be. Should this be just down here or more of the background? Like if it's all of the background, like so, maybe that's too much. Maybe if it's just like focused around him in a certain way, that might be more interesting, like so. Yeah, it's not easy to make these compositions, and we didn't even start like putting anything in there, like actually building the thing. Can we have some ground? Ooh, ground level smoke. This is nice. Let's take this. Just like stretch this out here. Behind our guy though. Maybe just fade this out here. All right, I feel like this is slowly becoming more interesting. What? Why is there more smoke now? Okay. What do you think? Like, it's still just a sketch, but... Death should be highlighted with the flame colors. What do you mean by that? Death should be highlighted with the flame colors? Highlighted how? By the way, I also wanted to put some more elements on him, maybe some chains or something, and some bigger structures to make him look more giant. We can, by the way, we can do this real quick, just to give some elements, just a hint of that. Let's go like with tree, for example. There we have a nice, well, maybe a tree with a little bit more structure. Yeah, why not? Let's take this one. Okay, let's put this in here. Put it on top. Like so. And then rasterize that. Bloop. And then delete the rest of the stuff we don't need. There we go. Maybe set this to darken or something. Make it smaller. Let's make this black and white. 1 second. By the way, this is something we can do in 1 second. Whoops. Rasterize. Okay, good. Why is there still... One moment. Select, invert pixel selection, delete. Okay, so now we should just have the tree. Okay, so I was thinking about maybe putting some of that stuff up here on him. 1 second. Forest. I just thought about something. Please give me a nice silhouette here. Come on. There really nothing? This looks a bit stupid. Maybe this. This is good. Let's do this. This is good. Okay. Let's put this. This is too big. Let's click here, darken. Yes, thank you. Turn this over, put it like this maybe. Filter. No, sorry, not filter. Rasterize, rasterize. Delete the stuff we don't need. Also over here. Bend the things a little bit into shape. Second one. Okay, let's put these two together and then put it behind him. If I can find him again, I think this is him. There we go. Let's do the same with the other trees. 1 second. What is this thing sticking out here? Oh. Nope. There we go. So now he looks a little bit bigger. That looks so bad, but it's really, death looks flat. Yeah, it's just like, it's just a sketch to find out the composition. It's not the final work. This is just like to get the basic concept of what we could do with this image. I feel like everything on this part could be more to the right and maybe a little bit lower, and he could be a little bit more to the left. And I have so many layers right now. Let's make this bigger here. How long is the stream, by the way? Oh, 1 hour 30. Wow, it's not too bad for today. Okay, I will save this real quick, and then I will sort this a little bit, so we have a bit more concept of what is going on here. This is our dude here, and this is the shine from his staff. And this is the flame from the This is the flame on his staff, okay. So, okay. And this is the smoke sickle. Okay. Just some parts here. Okay, this is the fortress. I just want to quickly, we can delete this, sort this a little bit so I can move things around. Shouldn't take too long. Give me a second. We can delete all of these. We don't need them anymore. What is this? This is also from our fortress, apparently. So this is all the death here. Whoops. No. I hate it when in Affinity Photo you select 3 layers and then it selects a layer below it too. I don't know why that happens, but it's super annoying sometimes. What is this? This is the smoke. Yeah, we already found that out. This is the background ambience, right? Yes, okay. And what is this? Ah, this is the foreground smoke. We can leave that too. This is the inspiration image. I think this is all of him, right? This, and this. Let's group this and call his death. And then, yes, that's all of him. There's some adjustments here from the brightness. Never mind that. Okay, so now we can basically move him around. Let's move this stuff down here. Changes the color a little bit, but never mind that. So this is our hero. Hero, okay. Yes, okay, good. Then we have some atmosphere stuff here. Okay, good. So let's put this down here again. And then let's see. Maybe make death a little bit smaller, although it's nice when he's so big. If he's a little bit lower here, and then the hero is a bit more maybe over here like this. By the way, we can also have this like 3 grid. Let's go here. Oh no. Let's look for a grid real quick. There we go. Copy this over. Boom! There we have it. Then we can play around with that. Let's go to multiply. Sounds good. Good enough anyways. Let's give it the same size as our image. And then we have our third lines here. So that's a super easy way to do that. Let's lock this. And now we can move our elements around a little bit more. Okay, let's put the hero. I mean, basically where he was not too bad, right? From the third lines. You don't always have to adhere to the third lines 100%. So we can make him maybe a little bit lower here. Then have the death maybe a little bit more over here. The fortress is a bit stupid at the moment. What if the fortress would be over here, behind the death, under the sickle? And we maybe have a second mountain over here. Or something like that. Let's give me a mountain real quick. There we go. Rasterize. Delete. Okay. Let's put this back here. Maybe flip it. Put it behind everything. Where's the fortress now? Fortress, where are you? There we go. Oh, this is kind of limited by that. Okay, interesting. Dude, please. Let's lock this real quick because this is driving me mad here. This is death. Is it better if the fortress on the right side, or then we have too much stuff on the right side? Fortress far in the valley on the right. Sorry, on the left. Ah, okay, okay, yes. Let's undo this here real quick. Okay. One second. Path. Let's give me a path here. Ah, come on. Why? Okay, rasterize, copy, fill this in here. Put it down here. Okay. So we have just like some element that combines the death with the guy in the foreground, right? That makes a lot more sense. What if there would be a village in the middle? Like not a fortress, but maybe a village. Maybe a burning village in the middle. Let's go here. Yeah, there we go. Let's take this, put it here in the middle. How about that? Let's hide the fortress here. Have this here. Maybe then we can put this guy here a little bit more to the side. And this is then here. Where's the village? Let's put it behind him. This could also maybe be a good reason or like a good way to make him a little bit brighter. Where's the stone he's standing on? What layer is that? Okay, it's here. Flip this around. Why is the landscape? Oh, it has to. Okay, never mind. Okay, that's good. That's okay. That's okay. Where's the landscape? There we have it. Let's duplicate this mask and put it on death too. And then I have to invert that. So now he's behind that. That's good. I feel like that's better maybe, right? So we have a connection between our main hero and the death. Put this a little bit more over here. Maybe smaller, maybe a little bit more in the back, like so. Maybe, like this. Are you kidding me right now? That's the stone, that's the hero, right? Okay, there we go. People streaming away from Burning Village, the village people. That would be nice, but the problem is that that is a ton of work and very complicated, especially from the perspective in finding people who look like that when they are running. So that's really hard to find. And I don't have the skill to do that in 3D or to paint that digitally. So that would be really very hard to do. But I feel like this is much better, right? To have it like this with the village here, and then everything should be darker, of course, so the light is looking more interesting. Maybe we can bring back the darker atmosphere now. Okay, now this is the smoke. Oh, well, now we don't see the village anymore, right? So we would have to paint in between that. Let's call this layer here night. And then let's paint this in a little bit here. Give me some night blue. Leave the path here brighter. So like this, although, one second. Yeah, something like darker with some fire there. We can also have some nice smoke here coming from the village. So that seems like an interesting composition. And of course now we need to build everything, cool forest here on his back. So you have to imagine this like in a way where it's more like rendered in a nice way. Are there some similar images here maybe? Ooh. Wow. Okay, interesting. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Ah. Pretty cool. These rocks is very nice. Yes, with these kind of details, these hanging chains. I want to do some with these hanging stuff. Maybe, wait a second. Where is our fortress? Where's our fortress gone? There it is. Let's turn this on again. And then, bloop. Maybe as his, maybe Death could wear a crown made of a broken, like a broken fortress, right? That could be interesting. I don't know what just happened, but Wait a second, let's rasterize this real quick. Rasterize. What the? With that. But am I crazy right now? Why can't I rasterize this in the way it looks? Rasterize to mask? What is that? Ooh, okay, no. Then maybe turn this off and then rasterize this. Anyways, okay, never mind. But that could be a nice idea, right? If he has like a crown made of a old broken castle, that has to look like that, of course. But then that might be interesting, right? So he's like, it's really clear that he's a really giant creature in the back. And then also we have the smoke in the foreground. I think I'm quite happy with that composition now. Whoops. Where? Oh, that's locked. Okay. And then I just have to like realize that now with putting in all the elements, but it's like a ton of hours to create all of that. So I'm not gonna do that in the live stream. But when is the, wait a second. We have the 18th. So on the 18th, the next live stream, we can show you some progress. And then the deadline is on the 24th. And then, oh, by the way, hey, before we end the stream, wait a second. So I'm quite happy with this. I still have to put a ton of work into actually making this look good. But before we go, 1 second. YouTube, Benny Productions. There we go. We can have a look at what his channel is doing. Because he announced this here. Whoops, sorry. And then he said to post it. Ooh, there we go. He said to post this here. And there are a lot of people have already posted. So we can have a look at these kind of inspirations here. Wait a second, let me see the chat. How would you dress him, the hero? Yeah, I thought about that too. So for example, here when you go medieval, you have, for example, this guy here. So I want to have the shoulder pads from him, and then maybe also take some other classic armor and put it on him. But I still want to see, like, have the face visible of him. And also I want to like make this staff here nicer and stuff, so that this is more heroic and everything. So I have to see how good I can do that. I can't promise anything, but let's see how good I can do that. But here you can see you already have some really cool posts here from his community. Yeah. So there's some pretty nice stuff already that you can look at. Some are better, some are not so great. But it's really good to look at them for inspiration, to see from the composition, to see from also the light that's happening in the image. Wow, there's some kind of fantasy stuff here too. What is this? Okay, interesting. Some more abstract works too. Yeah. Some pretty cool stuff here. And is this also part of the challenge? No, right? It's something different. And as you can see with a lot of these pictures, it's hard to do these things, and it's hard to get the composition right and the colors right and to get any kind of story in there. So I think the composition we came up with here is not too bad. I still have to build everything, but from the basic sketch, I feel like this is actually kind of nice. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. And then, by the way, I will also I will post this here and then also share this post in the community, because you can see here on Reddit, you can upvote things. And I think Benny will decide also on the upvote. So it would be cool if maybe he chooses my picture to give some review and to see what he thinks about that. Although I still have to see if my work is going to be any good or not. I don't know yet. We have to see about that. So yeah, let's see. But there's some cool stuff here, as you can see. Very nice. Very different concepts. And he went with Reddit. I used to have a Reddit community too, but Reddit is not as good for organizing the community because, as you can see here, everything has to be an individual post. You can't make picture comments like you can do on Facebook, and also you can't reply with a picture to your own post. And this is also a problem because often when I do challenges, I want to have the original picture and the edited picture. Of course, what you can do here is you can see here, you can have a series of pictures. So that is also nice. But I think more people are on Facebook anyways, and more people know how to use Facebook. So that makes it a lot easier for most people to use the community. For me, especially the demographic that I'm reaching with my channel. So yeah, but Reddit is also interesting. I tried it. I don't like the design of Reddit. Anyways, let's just talk about his challenge here. So there's some quite interesting things here, and as you can see, it's really hard to combine all these elements together. But I like how at the same time, you can see that he has a very engaged community. At the same time, you can see that he's like with his own channel pushing for a high quality, and at the same time having a community where the skill level is very different. So you have a lot of beginners in there. You have some very skilled people in there. And then he can show off these different skill levels and give some feedback on that. So that's really nice. That is very interesting. And he's also more focused with his channel than I am with my channel. So this is also something that I really like about his channel, that I want to get more focused with my thing too. Because if you compare the channels, let's do this real quick. Benny Productions. So, and then let's go to my channel. 1 second. Let's go here to videos real quick. And then go from me to videos. And I just recently realized that, because it's like a growing process over time, that because a lot of people ask me about a lot of different kind of tutorials what I could do. When you look at his like the things he's doing, everything is about this kind of composite thing. Of course, he's going in different directions. Like this one is more sci-fi, and then you have some more like this is also sci-fi actually, some medieval stuff and some other stuff. But it's all in this kind of composite photo bashing kind of way. He started out with doing these film things from Star Wars and things. I think this helped him a lot to grow with his channel. But he's very focused in the things that he's doing with his channel, while on the other hand, if you look at my channel, so he has a text effect, there's a little bit of shadow, then there is some pattern design, there's some social media stuff, then there is some photo adjustment from the colors, then you have some creative photo editing here from what you can do with that. There's a text effect again, so it's very mixed. There you have some abstract backgrounds, you have a gold effect. So, and the problem is with that is when I create something, for example, for this text effect, and then someone says, hey, cool, I want to learn more about how to use text creatively. And then I make like all these other tutorials about other stuff. And then here's another one about text. So there's a lot of stuff in between. The person who subscribed to me for text effects, of course, is not interested in that other stuff and only watches this stuff. And so also the people who are interested in like these realistic colors and adjusting actual photos are not interested in the other things like text effects, like patterns, stuff like that, or like this gold effect. If you want to do realistic colors and you want to have a nice sunset, you're not necessarily interested in how to turn your face into gold. Like, why would you need that? Although you can still see that the views mostly are rather consistent on my channel, so that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. but it's everywhere, you know. There's a sunset, then we have a micro world, then there is some, I don't know, how to create a watermark. It's kind of all over the place. Some architecture photography down here. And I think this is also consistent with the kind of like similar numbers I have, even though the channel is growing, you know. So, I have to be more focused in what I want to do, but I still have to decide in what the kind of direction I want to do. And also it's a little bit inconsistent that I make streams about this kind of stuff you can see up here. By the way, I haven't done that in some time either, but these kind of composites here and photo edits that are very like colorful, and I have my own specific style on how I do things, but then the tutorials are on a completely different subject than my streams, which is these kind of design things and realistic edits and things like that in a way that is different from the artworks that I'm personally doing. If you also look on my Instagram stuff, like the style is surprisingly consistent on what I'm doing as an artistic work. You know, if you look at this stuff, most of that is very similar from the color style and from what it is about. Of course, I sometimes experiment with other things too. This was like things where we looked into these kind of techniques on creative editing, but these kind of things here and this kind of stuff and this kind of stuff here is kind of similar and consistent in the way of what it is doing, right? So that's interesting. What does the channel say? 1 second. And I'm not saying I want to be a second Benny, because that's stupid. He's doing his stuff. He is very good at his stuff. I don't want to do that. But I want to like be more focused on what I want to do and what kind of people I want to address with my channel. And it's also unfair to the community to create a video like this and then not do other videos like this. Like, I'm not a design channel that is specialized in font design. That would be a cool thing, and I could build a community around that. But to lure in, basically, not lure in, I do this because I'm interested in that and because I can do it, so I want to show you how to do it. But to create something and people come and say, oh, that's cool, and the next time I do something completely different, is also a little bit unfair for the community, right? Because they are excited about this stuff, and then next time I do something completely different, right? So that might be a bit strange, maybe. Estranging. What's the right word for that? Is Photoshop Infinity. The biggest difference between you and Benny is Photoshop and Affinity. Well, I think you can do a lot of the stuff that Benny is doing also in Affinity. Not everything, of course, but a lot of the things. And especially, I mean, his level is so high, of course, that even like if you do the normal things that a mortal basically could do, that the normal hobbyist could do, Affinity Photo is more than enough for that. If you go to a really high level that is really specialized, and you're like an industry expert in the way that Benny is, then you probably need the tools that Photoshop has to offer, because they're like, then you really stretch the limits of what Affinity Photo can do. But for most things, you can just use Affinity Photo. I think should be no problem. What about dividing some of your tutorials into playlists? I was thinking about that, and a lot of people have asked me about that. Let's switch over to the talk view real quick. People have asked me about that. The problem for me is, and maybe I should ask you to help me do that, is I have created so far over 300 tutorials for Affinity Photo. What is the exact number? Where's my playlist actually? 1 second. Well, I don't know the number right now, but it's way over 300 tutorials so far. There we are. Does it? 340 tutorials. So to go through all of these 340 videos and then figure out what kind of categories would they fit in, and then also keep these categories updated. I think that's the hardest part afterwards, when you create a list and then you have to remember, oh, what kind of list do I have, and in what kind of list does the video fit? But I mean, it would be very useful. That's true. That would be very useful to have. So maybe I should ask my community to help me with that. The Affinity logo on your thumbnail is very distracting. Maybe make them in a corner the same size. What do you mean by that? They are always at the exact same place. I'm not sure how you mean that. Let's switch over here. Like work view. I have two designs on my channel. One is for the live stream, which is this one. There is a big Affinity logo on the side and a smaller Nik Collection logo. And then I have the other design where the Affinity photo logo is top left, because this is where you look first, and my own logo is on the top right. So you can see when you search for something that this is actually my video. So when you go here and you go, I don't know, Affinity photo, I don't know, let's go shadow, and you find different videos like this. You can immediately see, oh, this is by Olivio, because you can see there is my logo on the top right. But it's always in the same place. The logo is on all videos in exactly the same spot and exactly the same size. I never changed that because I'm using a master file where I just change the background and not these logos. I was thinking about making my logo smaller and the Affinity logo bigger. So maybe have mine just as a third in the corner. So it doesn't take too much real estate, and also it makes the composition a little bit easier on the elements. But other than that, you can see all of my thumbnails are exactly the same. Only here, for example, the difference is I'm not using Affinity Photo, and then I'm not showing the Affinity Photo logo. Also here, as you can see, I'm not using Affinity Photo, and there is no Affinity Photo logo in there. So these are the rare exceptions. But other than that, it looks exactly the same. I should hide the live streams though. I should turn them off, because that is a little bit distracting, that you have all these videos and then you have the old live streams. I usually take out everything behind the last 3 or 4 weeks. So there should be like only 2 or 3 live streams in my video list. And then if you go to home, you find the rest of my live streams down here. By the way, we can also look here. How many live streams have I done so far? 69. I've done 69 live streams. Look at that. That is crazy. That is really crazy. Look at that. Wow. When was the first one? Oh, this is like a cut. There at the beginning, I cut out segments of the live stream, and I streamed a lot longer. I streamed like 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes even 5 hours. I really enjoyed that, but the community said they don't want that, so I changed that to a shorter time. 2019, November 2019. So I started, I think, with the coronavirus to entertain you and keep you like happy through the Corona time, which is why also the folder still is called Corona. You see here, live stream Corona time. Oh, there's some others. Oh yeah, I did some before Corona time, but not as regularly. With Corona, I started to stream every week. And I've done since. Only in Asia I've not streamed for some weeks because of the internet. I need to be more prepared about that. But the rest should be like the same. Okay. There we go. Where's the chat room? You could have just like 4 or 5 very basic categories. I could maybe do that, yes. I have to think about that. I will ask my community on Facebook what kind of categories that could be, and maybe help me sort the videos in there. So that would be really worthy to do that. That would be very useful. And then also I want to make a list of basic videos where I also want to ask my community for help. That is also related to the products that I'm doing. So for example, so I have videos that show how to use LUTs on the iPad, on the Mac, on the Windows, and how to use gradients and how to use brushes and how to use overlays on these 3 platforms. So I can always link that when you buy one of my products, you can know how to use them correctly on your device, right? So that would be good. Thought to make photo manipulation content. Yes, actually I did. So I'm right now, I'm still writing concepts for the channel on what I want to do. And there's 3 different concepts that I can concentrate on. One would be more of the compositions that I'm doing anyways, like the stuff that I do on Instagram. And then also do my own photography for that, increasingly to get better at that. So that would be one. So composites and the materials for composites and the workshops for composites and courses, stuff like that, all around composites. That could be really interesting. And this has a lot of potential and is also for me artistically interesting. And by the way, here's another channel I want you to look at. The guy is called 100, I think. 100. No. Is he not called 100? 1 million maybe? Ah, there he is. 1000. Sorry, 1000. I want to show you real quick. Work life. This guy here. And so basically what he's doing, he's a graffiti artist and he's showing you like he's taking you along the ride on his journey of his life on becoming an artist, becoming better over time. He shows you the things he's creating, the customers he's working with. He had a shop, I'm not sure where, somewhere in America, and he showed about what the shop he's doing. He closed it down in the meantime. But it's really interesting to follow him along, to listen to him, what he's telling, the artistic stories, the concepts, inspirations behind that, stuff like that. And also like the community is giving him challenges, stuff like that. You can see here now he's painting a ukulele, and then he's painting a wall, and then he's painting some other stuff. He's doing some art on the iPad, and then also his community, like he is doing some skateboards, and then the community can buy these skateboards if they want to have his arts. And he's just like, he paints on shoes and on spray cans and a ton of different things. And it's so interesting to follow his artistic journey and to hear a little bit about his inspiration and his like what makes him tick and what makes him happy and stuff like that. And I feel like that is really interesting because at some point you have basically explained how a software works or how a thing works. And after that, it's more about the artistic thing on how do you actually create art with that, right? Because it's like, think about it. If you think about, like, for example, making a sketch with a pencil, it's not hard to explain how a pencil works and what a piece of paper is. But after that, you have to understand maybe a little bit about anatomy of the body and a little bit about perspective and a little bit about light and shadow. But this is kind of explained rather easily, right? You don't need to spend a million years on understanding how the anatomy of a hand is, right? Or like how the perspective works. That is like, you can learn this in one afternoon basically. But after that, the rest is like just artistic journey and exercise. And what kind of stories do you tell? How do you tell them? What are the little details that are important for that? How do you build up that kind of dynamic, stuff like that? And that could be really interesting as a concept. So that would be one concept, to do that with compositions in photography, with my style, not Benny's style, my style. And the other one would be to be more about just photography and how to edit photos and make them look good and have all these concepts about color and color harmony, and for these kind of cinematic concepts I'm talking about, and photo composition and things like that. But that would be more about photography, less about photo editing. I'm more like a guy who sits in his room and edits pictures. So photography is nice, but I rather like the element of things that are larger than life. You can do that with photography, but still photography is basically in the real world, while the things that I do are more like in a ideal artistic world. So that's a little bit more removed from what I actually artistically am interested in. And the third one is to keep on doing videos about the basic concepts of how different software tools work, and then explain them about Affinity Photo and Luminar and Photolab and stuff like that. And all that could also be interesting, and there could be a lot of things done with that. The only downside I see with that is that everybody can do that, right? Everybody can say, okay, this is what a gradient is, and this is how levels work, and this is what a curve is, and how you use that. Everybody can use that. Everybody can do that video. It doesn't have anything to do with me. So people don't come because of me. They come because they want to learn some basic technique, and then they go again, right? And this is kind of, it's a hollow concept in the sense that it's just some service announcement basically you listen to, like, or it's like the schedule for train arrival. You're not interested in who created that schedule for the train arrival. You just want to see when your train comes, and then you leave and you forget about the train schedule, right? So that's a completely just a service, nothing else. And that feels a little, it's nice to be able to do that and help people to learn things at the same time. From a personal perspective, it's kind of hollow, it's kind of empty, because it has nothing to do with me and nothing to do with my artistic journey. So, but it still could be an interesting concept, you know. I made it sound a little bit negative right now, but it's actually also still cool. And this is what I've mainly done with my channel so far. I just feel like at this point, also from the size of my community, being very close to 40,000 followers, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more character behind the channel, and something that makes people come back and be interested in what I'm doing. Because otherwise I feel like it's kind of staying small and being always in that kind of limit of where people just come to see, like, you watch 1 hour out of 50 videos because you want to know how brushes works, and then the next 30 videos are not interesting for you, and then maybe a video comes up that is interesting for you. And this is also kind of consistent with the numbers, because if you think about it, I have 40,000 subscribers, and then 3,000 people are watching the video. So only like 10% or less are actually interested in the individual video. Of course, this is the same with all the channels. I'm not saying like for me it's worse than for other channels. Like if you think about, for example, you have 1000. He has 560,000 subscribers, which is very few for the amount of skill and artist and like personal story he has in his channel. He should have at least 2 or 3 million subscribers. But then if you look at his videos, they also have like 75,000 views, 44,000 views, stuff like that. So he doesn't have like 200,000 views on a video. So not everybody's watching his videos either. You know, it's just like how things are. Made this picture in 10 minutes from scratch. Imgur link. Okay. Forgot about Photoshop. To make photo manipulation. Okay. Imgur. Let me see. I will look at this real quick. So yeah, this is just something I'm thinking about at the moment, and try to write some concepts for that and have some, yeah, business plan also behind that. It's pretty important, right? Oh, that looks pretty interesting. Is it the Affinity logo but as a snow house? Interesting. Let me switch over real quick. There we go. So that is what who was that? Sorry. Anti-Planet has done. Pretty cool. Very interesting. Very nice. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's also some other concepts that are interesting. So because also the question is, sorry that I'm talking so much right now, but the other question is what I'm doing with my life. Where do I want to be? What do I want to do? And I always want to push myself a little bit more to go further at the edge of what you can do as a normal person, basically, because most of us just stay at home, do our 9-to-5 job, and maybe go on vacation once a year or something like that. And so for me, the question is, as an artist, how free can I be? How far can I go? How many things and how different can I do things, right? So this is also one concept on how can I be independent from especially from the place where I'm at, right? This is one of the main questions I also have in my mind. And this is also what the test was about in Asia, to see for the 2 months, can I work there? Does it influence my quality? Does it influence my community? Stuff like that. and to see, could I, for example, live at different places? So this could be one concept, to say, okay, I go half a year, I live in Bangkok, half a year, I live in Hong Kong, half a year, I live in Barcelona, stuff like that, right? To experience different communities, work with different people, like learn from different cultures, stuff like that, make concepts in that way. Another concept, and that's kind of cooler, but also much more difficult, is, for example, to have a van or something, or a bus, and to just build it up as a studio, put some cameras in there, and then just travel around. This, by the way, would be a concept that would make more sense to say, okay, I make photography and then edit photos and show you how I edit these photos, right? So this is more into the actual classic photography concept of taking a picture and then editing into something magnificent, cinematic, artistically expressive as a photo, right? If you do photo shootings where you need to prepare costumes and makeup and find a model and have a studio and have a light setup, stuff like that, traveling around is probably not the best concept to have. You probably want to stay at a place for half a year or something, come up with the concept, find the people that are skilled enough, work with them, realize the work, because all of that is very involved and a very slow process. So you can do maybe in half a year 2 or 3 actually good works at that time. So this is more of a thing of, okay, I travel to another place, try to find the network there, I need to create a work and then do the work and then move on to another place. That could be amazing. Traveling around could also be amazing. I feel like traveling around would be a bigger story, like having a bus and driving around and meeting a lot of people is I don't know, it feels like more adventurous, you know? It feels like when I look back at my life as an old guy with 80 or something, I feel like when I travel around for, let's say, 5 years. And this is the amazing thing. Like, everybody thinks about their life and says, all that time and thing and blah, and we limit ourselves so much. But think about it. If you live for 80 years total, and then you take 3 years or you take 5 years out of your life to travel around the world in a bus and do work and create what you want to create, how much time have you actually spent from all of your life, right? If I would do this right now, I'm 43 right now, and I do it for 3 years, I'm 46. There is no difference, you know, between 43 and 46. I still have a ton of years to go. It was still a small chunk of my life, but I have done something that's 99.9% of humanity have not done. It's something special, and it's something where you can actually tell a story artistically, and you can look back in your life and say, okay, I did something that helped me evolve beyond what I am. I could grow in that moment. Of course, traveling isn't the only way to grow. You can also sit at home and grow in your studio by doing the things you need to do at home. No problem about that. Most of the artists do that, right? I'm just saying, like, this is something amazing you can do. And it's not like there's not a huge chunk of life suddenly missing. And also you come back a lot richer in experience and knowledge than when you just stay at one place. You can learn a lot at one place, but I think you learn a lot faster on different situations. Yeah, so I have to figure these things out and see where I want to go with that, and see how I can adapt my life to suit that, right? So this is basically the big plan on what can I do with that. And like I said, it's never too late. Like, I'm 43 right now, but I'm not worried about doing these things. While a lot of people might think, well, this is something you have to do when you're like 20 years old, right? But why not now? I'm still healthy. I'm still like have enough energy to do these things. I think I could even do them with 60, right? Why not? Okay, anyways, that was a long monologue. I hope I could give you some insight. I hope it was interesting today to see how to figure out that composite. And then I'm happy with that. I have to say, like, I know it looks like crap, but this is what a sketch is supposed to look like. And now I can go into the process of actually creating these things. And I think this will turn out rather nice. Far away from the skill of what Benny has, because he's like a master of photo bashing, while I'm not a master of photo bashing at all. But I think it still might look good. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. That's basically it for today. I hope you enjoyed that stream. And see you next week when I show you my progress on how far I've come with this composite. Yeah, and also let's talk more about the concept of the channel and things like that. All right. See you soon. Thank you and good night. Bye.